Good evening, good evening, everyone. How una day? How una day? How una day? How una day? I promise you, I say I will come back. But this time around, where I come back, I came back to come and have a make una come see wetin my eyes so. How is everyone? How you all doing? Uh, like I said, if the system does well, we will praise them. When they don't do well, we would highlight we highlight concerns. On this particular one, uh, I'm praising. I'm here to come and praise Public Complaint Commission Abuja on this particular show. Um, as much as we say Nigeria is not working, there are systems that still work. As much as we want to say that Nigeria is not working, and it's not always critiquing. Yes, we criticize, but obviously for them to be able to make a difference. I saw a video. I saw a video. And I could not take my eyes off the video. Obviously, because of community standard, I can't play the video. But you see all these people that used to set up orphanage. All these people that you will set up orphanages. Apart from even those who set up orphanage, I've always stood, because of my own lived experience, I always speak against child abuse. Not just because of whatever, but for me as a person, my principle is any child that is in your care that you cannot look after, return that child to the parents. Don't damage that child. If any pikin dey your care, and you know, say this pikin, from the bottom of my heart, I no fit care for that pikin. Or if you struggle to love a child that is not your own, return that child to the parents. Or return the child to where you found the child. That is my principle. And that is how I have lived. Any child that is in my care that I cannot care for, me, I know they like give myself. Because I understand the impact of abuse, of child abuse. I lived that experience. I mean, if you are conversant with my page, you know I've said this several times. I stayed with my auntie, and I can tell you for free, if my birth mother knew half of my experience, not even all, if she knows half of my experience, maybe not even half self is too plenty. If she knows 1/10 of she smelt it. But the first time, and I'm going to, for the first time I spoke to her, so there was, when I was much younger, my mom said she smelt it. I'm not going to sit down here and tell you she never knew. She smelt it. But my mom she was a very reactive person. Okay? So the first time, I can't remember whatever happened. I was really young at the time. It wasn't too long that I moved to my mom, to my auntie. Hey, Wena, how are you? How you doing now? It wasn't too long I moved to my auntie. And I remembered my mom visiting. I can't remember what it was she came to come and do. I shall remember her visiting. Okay? I lived with her younger sister, the same mother, the same father. Okay? I remember her coming to visit. That was shortly after I moved in, after I started staying with her. And I can't remember what it was that happened. And my mom, I remember she came to bat me. She was actually, she was around. So I was going to have my shower or something. Yeah. And she noticed a mark on my body. Okay? Now, she asked me, the innocence of a child. Now, so me, if I open my mouth, now I tell my mama, wetin happen? I can't remember what it was that happened. I don't know what it was that led to me being beaten. And that's why I tell my mama, oh my goodness, my mother let hell loose. You know when they say they let hell loose, it's a phrase. Now so my mama go meet my auntie. Now so third war, even whether na fifth world war, now so it starts. They come begin the trade word. There is no time for the 13 years I lived with my auntie. There is no time my mom comes. Okay, after that first time, so when I told my mom, innocence of a child, and I told my mom, and subsequently when my mom left, my auntie, when I tell you, say person swallowed person, you shall not even know whether they would day. But the best way in a phrase, saying it in the context of phrase, I remembered after my mama come out, when my mom went back. Now, so my auntie give me the beating of my life. As I speak to you, you see on my left leg, anybody that knows me, I limp on my left leg. I limp. No, it's not so obvious. You can't tell because I'm a fast walker, so you can't tell. Anyway, I will never forget. And so I learned to shush my mouth. I'm telling you I'm not telling you somebody's story. I'm telling you my own story, a lived experience. So I learned to shush my mouth because my mom's reaction led to further action towards me. Okay? Now, do I blame my mom? My answer is no. Okay? But that was how she knew to, of course, she reacted. There's no other, I don't see why she would not have reacted. And why wouldn't she? Okay? It's a younger sister. And to the best of my knowledge, my late father trusted my mom's sister, the person I lived with. Apparently, he would tell everybody that cared to know that you see this particular person, I trust her with my life. Hey, Afolake, how are you? Good after. How you doing now? Good evening, ma. I remember apparently my late father said he trusted that lady, the person I lived with. He said he trusted her with my life. Hence the reason. Like they said if Tokuban Weyinwu, I'm sure wherever the man is, if you look back, he go say, hey, I sure say that man, if it's true, say people we don't buy, did they see what they happen? Okay? And every time, I won't lie to you, every time something happens, I remembered, na normal, beating na normal for me. Beating na normal day to day. Okay? And I will not tell you lies. My dad would, I would dream about him. On several occasions, I would dream about him. He would be, more like petting me. You understand? My mom, like I said, my mom was very real. So I learned not to say, I learned to shush my mouth. The physical beating, if not only physical beating, they beat me. If not only say now just physical abuse, trust me, that was the least of the worries. Orishirishi happened. Okay? So this is not a they said. Now I'm my own personal story. There are a lot of things that I've been for therapy several times. I struggle. When I get to a particular stage in that therapy, I struggle to continue. Because it's just too much. So think about me at age 5. And I was there for 13 years. My case, I always tell people, my case now a case of Ajato Woli Ekun. You know the meaning of, when they say Ajato Woli Ekun. So I am very, very mindful. I'm very, very mindful. And that's why I don't joke when it comes to child abuse. It's not something I joke with because I can smell it from afar. If I walk into a place and there's something, like the kind of job I do, is very easy. You know what people learn to go and do PG training for and Orishirishi training. Me, not easy. I will walk in and I will tell you something is going on. Because I learned over the 13 years, my strength was being hyperactive, hypervigilant. That was the greatest sense. That was my coping mechanism, where I became hypervigilant. I can read the body language of a room. I can read body language of people. It's very easy. Like what people, if you're in, as a social worker or a psychologist, you probably go and learn. You go and do degree and masters and whatever. For me, na follow come. Because it was a lived experience for me. Okay? Now, I'm highlighting this because this is very, like, of course, I'm not saying whatever it is that has happened, but the point I'm trying to make here is, over time, that protective factor, the person who was supposed to be a protective factor around me, that person even made me more vulnerable and exposed me to more. She was even an abuser. Let's put it that way. It's not even like put it. That was a fact. I say I go look the woman, I go say, and that's the same person. I they call her mommy. I call her husband daddy. Daddy to your daddy, mommy to your mom. Okay? But that was just my reality. That was 13 years. It was 13 years of hell and back. Okay? And in the midst of it, they go carry Bible. In Jesus' name, they're going to do in Jesus' name. But that's not even the point. Okay? And these are well-traveled, well-learned people. The cover face, on the surface, I lived in a beautiful house. I lived in a protected house. I lived in a beautiful house. There was mommy and daddy. Everything looked normal. But behind the curtain, when the curtains are shut, it's far from normal. It was a living hell. Name it that way. It was a living, and yes, they will say forgive and forget. Me, I no hold anybody for mind. Okay? Forgive and forget. That's not a problem. You can, you can forgive, but you don't forget because it's your lived experience. And that's why I hate that saying. That's why I dislike that saying when they say forgive and forget. How do you tell someone who's been abused to forget? It doesn't work like that. It's a lived experience. I don't tell people, yeah, you can forgive. Forgiving someone does not mean anything. Forgiving someone just means you overlook it. You understand? Anyway, so I am of that strong opinion. Any pikin where they your care, any child that is in your care that you cannot care for, that deep down in your heart, say this pikin, I cannot love this child like my own, even if it's your own child. If you have your own child and you look at that child and say, I cannot care for this child, please give that child up for adoption. Because you are better giving that child up for adoption than actually damaging that child. And that is why when I saw this thing, I was like, no, I can't walk away from it. Now, there are a lot of people, they set up orphanage. I always, let me come back to my auntie. Sometimes I kind of apologize on her, or not even apologize. I kind of like make excuses for her. I've seen times, I remember once I went for therapy, one of the therapies I went for. And I remember the therapist, we're talking. And I said to her, and she was like, oh, these are, she was asking me questions. And I said, I've always made excuses. Because for me, I was like, okay, when my father passed away, she didn't, she didn't plan for it. But that was the impression I got. Remember, I was a little girl. Okay? And she wasn't a stranger to me. She was a face that was well known to me. She was a trusted person. And that's one thing I always say. An abuser is a trusted person to the victim. An abuser is not a random person. She wasn't a new face to me. In short, she was part and parcel. I remember seeing I can't remember where I went to, and I can't remember where it was. I saw pictures of me as per me being a little girl or being a little baby. She was all over my pictures. And this is someone that, my father passed away. Before he passed, he trusted her. You know what it is as a parent to trust someone with your child. And then you went ahead. In short, it's so gooey. But hey, it is what it is. But like I said, I was making an excuse. I said, she wasn't at the time when my father passed away. She was with her husband to be a fiancé. And suddenly, because the impression I got was, my mom they just distributed us. That was the impression I got. And that impacted my relationship even with my birth mom. But thank goodness I was able to, it wasn't easy because I had so much resentment towards my birth mom. Okay? And I remember, like, even when I went back to the only reason why I went back to live with my birth mom was because my auntie was not kind to me. And that's the easiest way. That's the polite way to describe her. So when I went back to go and meet my birth mom, I had so much. Yes, I didn't mind going to see her. I didn't mind my birth mom coming around. But I resented her because as far as I was concerned, she dumped me with her sister. It was over time, and I had a very and this is me being honest. I had a very difficult relationship with my birth mom initially when I went over to live with her. When I say difficult, I had a very difficult relationship because I was so closed up. I didn't trust her. Not because she did anything wrong to me. But for me, I came with so much. Remember, I had lived experience. Okay? So over time, I can't remember whatever. Oh no, I think in between when I then fell pregnant and had a child. Of course, like I've said, I fell pregnant anyway. I wasn't married. Well, no, it wasn't the case of I wasn't married. I fell pregnant anyway. And, of course, I didn't even see. I remember when I went for testing and the doctor said I was pregnant. I remember coming home, and my mom, she was screaming and crying. And in my head, I was like, wait till they do this one. And I'm being honest. I remember, and I'm grateful that me and her were able to have those conversations before she passed. I never knew she would pass early. We were able to have those conversations. It was difficult to have. Not in depth. Of course, I never sat anywhere to tell her this is what happened to me. But she had a glimpse. And I think the difficulty she always had was I wasn't willing to like discuss my experience with her sister. Because as far as I was concerned, discussing those experiences was going to rob me of my relationship with my birth mom. So I kept a very closed, I was very, very guarded around it. Not because I wanted to protect the woman. I couldn't give a hoot about her. But I wanted to build a relationship with my mom. I never knew my mom would not live long. I never knew she would die. She would die early. And one thing I'm always grateful, when I guess the birth of my child changed it for me. Because I get to experience motherhood. Remember, I had my child out of wedlock. So I get to have my child, and I remembered, yes, it was a difficult relationship because even me, as much as my mom, she was trying to be a mom, for me too, I was like, why are you worried about me? After all, you dumped me with your sister. You understand? So it was a kind of like tricky one. Not because I was acting it towards her to an extent. Like I remember one day, I think after I had the child or something. Yeah, I think after I had my child, I remember one evening, I will never forget, one night like that, she just walked into my room. My baby was crying and, she walked in and, she was trying to do mother and child talk to me. And in my head, I was just like, wait till they worry this one. I'm being honest. I was just, because, and I could, she was talking to me just like a mother, like a normal mother would talk to their, well, I wouldn't even say I was a teenager because I was 19 when I had a child. She was talking to me. Don't get me wrong. Everything she said made sense. But like I said, he softened me. I won't even say soften me. I think he made me to look at her in a different lens. Because my mom was trying so hard to be a mom. And I was so resentful of her. At the end of the day, funny enough, my son and my mom were born the same month. My mom adored my son. Even till death, she adored my son. Okay? Apart from him being her first grandchild, I think it was more of, oh my goodness, I think she was more like she was trying to correct things. But it would have even been good if she was correcting what she knew. In my own case, me, I was not even willing to open up and say this is what happened. You understand? So because I had no emotions, and that's the truth, because I'd live with someone, person will be saying, he swallow, how did they call her? Me. So I learned not to have any emotions. Like there was no emotions being expressed at all. If you know me, it takes a lot for me to cry. Nothing moves me. if you see me share tears, maybe I'm so, I'm not able to express myself. Otherwise, I'm someone that just, like I bury my emotions. Okay. Anyway, so over time, of course, I think over time, I learned to, because for me too, I think at a point, I realized I was being too hard on my mom. Not because I was of course, we had a lot of altercation and everything. But over time, me too, I now began to realize, I was like, hold on a minute. Actually, do I really want... No, I want to be able to build a relationship with this woman. Because mom didn't mean anything to me. Remember, I said I lived with someone that was calling mom and dad. And they did not mean, it was just mom. It was just dad. That was just all it was to me. There was no emotions to it. And here I am, presented with a woman who is my birth mom and really wants to be that mom. So it was a journey. It took us a while. And then I think over time, I now began to take a step back. And I would always be grateful for the father of my child, because he played a major role there. Okay? Where, because I resented my mom, but I didn't realize how much I resented her. And I remembered, he would sit with me. We started talking and stuff like that. And over time, I was able to relieve, maybe do things differently. You understand? Not in a disrespectful way. I wasn't disrespectful. Even that's why the fact that I didn't, at that time I was struggling with my relationship with my mom. One thing I like about my ex is he never one day, we talked extensively about I didn't tell him what had happened with me, but we had kind of a good conversation. And he was able to look, why don't you take a step back? Why are you being hard on her? Why don't you, instead of you making your own judgment from your own lens, why don't you build a relationship and get to know this woman? Okay, everything you know is based on they say, she said, I said. And that's the truth, because I remember my auntie. My auntie will sit down and tell me my life history. Not knowing that all she was telling me was all lies. She would beat me and be telling me, nobody wants you. No this, no that. She was, in short, nasty. To call her nasty is being kind. You understand? So anyway, I took a step back, and I started having, I now deliberately chose to build a relationship with my mom. And the moment I took a step back, of course my mom too changed, because I think she just realized that the approach she was using was not working. You understand? So over time, I became more compassionate towards her. And we'll talk, I repaired that. I deliberately repaired. Not like I said, I didn't know she was not going to live long. So deliberately, I started building that relationship. We started building it gradually, And then, I was then able to ask her some questions. I had a lot of questions. Remember, I started living with my auntie, from my 5th birthday. Just So I was then able to ask questions, and even the ones that I was unclear about, some of the things she said, I was like, no, mom, but this is, okay. I never told her that this is what her sister said. So what I was doing was I became a private investigator, whereby she would say some things. Even my grandmother, my maternal grandmother, I would ask her some questions as well. And I realized very quickly what I picked up was there were different versions of the story. And I think my mom too picked up on that, because even though my grandmom would say this, my auntie said this, and then I realized. So my mom would talk, and she was speaking with proofs. So I then realized, oh wow, everything I've been told were all lies. And I then deliberately chose to build a mother-daughter relationship with my mom. It's not because I was not hurt by the way she went about things. Maybe she would have done it differently. Yes, maybe. Even she herself, she says it. That, she would have done things differently if she understood life the way she understood it. But then, let's be honest. This was someone that her husband pied. She was just 28 when her husband pied. Okay? Anybody can say whatever they want to say. She was 28 when her husband died. And and I sat and I was like, if I was in her shoes, what will I do? I've never lived that experience. What will I do? What will I do? And that was, and I think because I had a child as a young person, I think I was able to relate. I mean, anybody that knows me would never even imagine me being pregnant out of wedlock. You understand? But when it happened, I took the bull by the horn. I faced my reality. And when I look back now, I'm like, actually, did I really sit with anybody to tell me how to face my reality? No. So maybe that was what happened. And I think because of my own experience, I was able to relate. Because of my own motherhood journey, I was able to relate some things. Maybe obviously maybe not the same way, but I was able to relate with my mom, like my mom's own lived experience. Okay? And so on and so forth, things improved, our conversation improved. And one thing my mom and I always did till she took her last breath, I always ensured that our conversation always end with "love you, mom." And she would say to me, "Love you, my daughter." We always had those conversations. And I was never judgmental towards her. I became very intentional. Yes, we will quarrel. Yes, we'll quarrel. Me and her, when we quarrel like this, But the interesting thing was, despite the fact that we were having misunderstanding, that we used to have nobody ever saw our middle. When they say nobody can come between you, nobody can come between you and that. She would, even if she's not telling anybody, she would call me. This is how it is. Even if she's not telling anybody how it is, she will call me. She will say, I know. We promised ourselves, we will be honest with ourselves. And she kept her promise even to the last breath. She was always very open and honest. And likewise me, there are a lot of things I told my mom. There are a lot of things my mom knows about me that probably nobody knows. Because we got to that stage. But one thing I was not bold enough to do. And I guess because I was very protective. Because her sister is the only sibling she has. So I think for me, it was more of a selfish thing, to be fair. I was very, very protective. Okay? And I'm also grateful that she respected that as well. I never sat anywhere to tell her my lived experience with her sister. But I can tell you for free. I remember before my mom passed away, I think the day before she passed, I remember me and her were on the phone for almost 3 hours. The call finished. Those days of MTN, where you go top up with, how did they call her? You top up from UK. You get the top up that time. She will call me. This, that. We talk. The following night, they tell me, say the following day we got the call. But the cocoa of the matter was, I'm so grateful. When she passed, I had so much peace in me. Because we built that relationship. In short, I was proud to say, yes, my mom, yes, of course, I wish she was alive. Because there are a lot of things I really wish, but looking back, even the little time that we spent together, I'm glad that we had precious memories around it. We're able to talk. The attitude I had about her, around her when I first came to live with her was totally different. And I reflected. I remember the day she passed away. I remember just sitting there I got sat in my room. I sat in my room and I was just reminiscing on our journey. And naturally, like I think I've said it a few times, I'm very, very reflective. So I was just reminiscing on my journey. The first day I came back to her, how she acted, just went through that journey. Anyway, it doesn't change, it was tough. Now, going back to all this, to what I was saying, to the topic. There's an orphanage home in Abuja. And the thing is, a lot of people set up orphanage home because they want to attract funding. They want to attract benevolence from the public, from people in diaspora, or people in the community. Okay? They set up orphanage home. They know it's an easy way. People will donate money. People will donate clothes. Some people, they take it upon them. Me, I don't like that behavior, but people seem to think it's acceptable. You know, they want to go and give maybe they want to go and do charitable stuff. They will go to orphanage homes. Why do you go to orphanage home to go and do charitable stuff? Why must you go to orphanage home for that? Okay, but hey, I have a different opinion about it because I just feel the kids are being treated like a commodity. They are being used to showcase. That's my view about it. Again, and that's why I shared my experience, because I feel, of course, I will always see things from a different lens because I have a lived experience. Anyway, people would set up orphanage. They have what do they call it? They set up orphanage to draw empathy from the community, from people. Oh, they put their faces. All this nonsense that people put the faces of all these children, all these vulnerable children they're caring for. They put their faces on social media. In a country where the law works, you don't do things like that. In a country where the law works, those children are vulnerable children. Their identity should be protected. That's the reality. Their identity should be protected. But hey, Nigeria is getting there. And that's why, like I said, today, the show that I'm doing this evening is to praise Public Complaint Commission for the response. Yes, we know things are not always prim proper in Nigeria. But when we see them do the right thing, we need to also commend them. Okay? Now, there's this orphanage home in Abuja. They have kids. The lady is a widow herself from the video. She has kids. She has some kids in the orphanage home. And those kids are malnourished. Okay? If you see the leg of one, whether na wood they use to knack in leg, whether na stick, whether na iron, I don't know. The poor boy's leg is bent as a result of abuse, as a result of physical abuse. Okay, the boy's leg don't bend. Me till today, I still have my, which hand is this? Left hand. My left hand, my last pinky finger. You know those your pinky finger, your little finger. Till today, my little finger is dislocated from beating. Anybody that sees me, my left hand, my pinky finger is not at the same whatever. It's dislocated. That was beating. What happen? I go shop, I don't even know what happen. Anyway, they shall beat me. Now one of those in short. Anyway, that's that. So that little boy, the leg is dislocated. Some of the children, he get one where they send a 15-year-old. That 15-year-old, he be like 6-year-old pikin. That child is underdeveloped. When a child goes through trauma, that impacts their neurological development. Go and ask any neurologist. It impacts on those children. Their growth is impacted. Their development, their physical and emotional, mental, psychological development is impacted. Because an abuser does not target your physical body. They target, once an abuser will target your mental coordination, cognitive ability. And that's what happens. They target your mental development, your psychological development, your emotional development. And it becomes a problem. And the moment an abuser captures all of that, the rest is history. Go and look at children who have been abused or children who have experienced abuse. There is one. They said they donate food in the orphanage home. Come and see those children. Come and see how malnourished they look. Let me play. You will listen to the audio. I can't play the video because of community standard. But let me play the audio so you can hear. On this one, Public Complaint Commission, una try. On this particular one, no. I don't know of any other one. But on this particular one, una try. I give it to you guys. Una try. Listen to the audio. Hold on. Let me play the audio.
Ebuka who? What is your name? Video name. What is your name? Ebuka who? I can't hear you. Chiwendu.
So the Ebuka that they're interviewing is the daughter, is a son of the person that runs the orphanage, and you will hear that.
What is your name? Video who? What is your name? Ebuka who? I can't hear you. Chiwendu.
Chukwuebuka.
Chukwuebuka, you don't have a surname.
We answer all this. We answer surname.
What's the surname? Call the surname.
Chikwelu.
Chikwelu.
Yes.
Chikelu or Chikwelu.
Chikwelu.
Mention the name Chukwuebuka Chikwelu.
Call your full names.
Chukwuebuka Chikwelu.
And how old are you?
15.
Are you an orphan? Are you an orphan?
No.
Who is your mom?
No.
The mother of this orphanage is your mother.
Yes.
Your biological mother.
Yes.
And you are the only one she gave birth to.
Yes.
You are the only one.
The father come.
What about your father?
She's a widow.
Okay, she's a widow. Your mom is a widow. That means you don't have a father. No problem. Thank you very much. Just know that the Public Complaints Commission came here because of complaints we have been hearing from the villagers in Tugungada. This is Tugungada village in FCT. We've been heading, Abuja. Yes, FCT is Abuja. FCT Abuja, Tugungada village. We've been hearing different of concerns. We've been hearing concerns that this orphanage are maltreating their children, and we have come today. We have seen a first-hand officers, please. We have seen a first-hand investigation that these children are seriously maltreated. This one here was poured hot water. You can see all his body totally wasted. This one, look at this one, beaten
with a swollen face. So
injury, malnourished. This one has a broken leg. This is terrible. Where they are saying is nothing to write home about, but there's a store filled with so many food and clothes. But see what these children are wearing. See how they are looking. There's a store filled with clothes and more than 20 bags of rice. Yeah. Where the woman, I'm very sure, must have gotten from good-spirited Nigerians. Yes. Coming to say, okay, they are trying to take care of the orphanage. Now, look at how these children, look at how they are all looking. Look at how they are, this one, how will you believe that this one is 12 years old? How can a child like this be 12 years old? You, how old are you? 13. What about you? 12. You, uncle? 10. What about you? 6. Look at them. 6 years old. 6 years old. Looks like a 3 years old.
No, 2 years old.
Because they are not feeding them. This is 11. And they have not eaten. And the most terrible, even the prisoners, I'm not even sure prisoners eat that food. Prisoners that even did an offense and they are in prison, I'm not even sure they are eating the kind of food you say you are going to give to these children. You will hear from us. Let's go. What's your name? Video.
okay, you can hear. Now you would think a woman, you know, women naturally, or females, we are nurturers. And that's something when we look at cases of abuse, this is something I struggle to get my head round. Because a female is a natural nurturer. Even when you look at species of animals, you see that the female is a natural, we nurture. It's just a nature for female. You can imagine a mom, our own child, the child that they were interviewing initially, our own child is 15 and that boy looks 15. Is well fed, is well cared for. Meanwhile, she has orphanage. The woman herself, she's a widow. The owner of that orphanage, she's a widow herself. You would think because she is a widow, she's understood, she's seen life at its finest. She's been down and back up. You would think she would do right by the children. But no. Like, according to them, you need to see the video of those children. Those kids, I don't know how somebody can sleep at night knowing you have been horrible to children. How they sleep, how people who abuse children, how they sleep at night, I don't understand. Because me, I can't fathom it. How somebody can close their eye knowing that a child that is in your care, You have not cared for that child the way you would care for your own children. And you see, there is a problem with all these people who abuse people's children. They always know how to care for their own. That's the interesting thing. They know how to care for their own kids. But another man pikin, they cannot care for another person's child. I remember my auntie, right? She go beat me. Any little thing, you don't think that at the time I say, she go come out. She will, when she's going out, when she's coming back home, she will buy Mr. Big, she will buy stuff for her own children. Okay? When she is coming back, I won't, what did she go buy? What did she go remember buy for me in a cane? You don't see that kind of craze before? She go buy cane for me. Because to her, that is what her sister's child, her niece, deserves. But our own children, they deserve Mr. Big. It's not even, I'm not even interested in the so-called nonsense Mr. Bigs. Okay? Right? To tell you how bad it be. And I remember when she's going out, she's going to tell me, don't touch my children, no. Don't beat my children. So she knows that what she was doing to me was bad. She go call the children enter inside room. To tell you how. You know what? When I remember, I would just start laughing. I'm like, hey, ele tashe ni to fi sere, un lo poju. Ele tashe ni to fi sere, un lo poju. Until date, the woman never learn. No, wallahi, that my auntie never learned to date. Anyway, and that's a thing, you know. Like it's just to reiterate it that look, all these people, they do bad to other people's children. They know not to do it to their own. They know, and they are very guarded around their own children because they know that what they are doing, what they do to you, that you are not their child, they know it is not okay. So it is not a case of, you know, so there's a difference between person who be say the person go abuse your own children, abuse pikin when they with in care. All those people, they always know how to care for their own pikin. And they're always very guarded around their children. Hold on, please. Hello, auntie. Mo wà lórí show. Shaking pe yin ti bá ṣe tán ma. Okay ma. Okay. All right. Mi ní pé ṣe tán ní ìsìn. Bye ma. Bye. Yeah, so, you know, they're always very guarded around their own children. Right? They know not to do wrong to their kids. Now, this woman, you need to see a 15-year-old, well-fed, well-presented. So it is not a case that she does not know that the way she's treating those kids in her care is bad. Right? It's not that she doesn't know to care for those children. It's not like she does not know that the way she's treating those kids are bad. You need to see the video. Those children, the thing where they feed them, the cocoa, you know what what they call cocoa, like ogi, pap. The thing that she's feeding her, even the environment where she's cooking the thing, is not acceptable. If you cannot feed your dog, you know, people have pets. And you come and see people that have pets. The way you cannot treat your pet, why do you think it's acceptable to treat a human like that? I said one of the children in the video, the leg of that child, they beat the child or whatever she used in and I don't even understand. The health people surely there's a pharmacist, surely there is a nurse or whoever it is that is helping her to treat those kids. Maybe they were the ones that also they were also part of those that went and complained to Public Complaint Commission. Maybe because you heard the lady saying people in that village came and complained. He beat one of the child, said the leg of that child bent. And you know, children, their leg is still at a formation, their body is still at an early formation. Imagine beating a child where the leg of the child bent. And you get your own pikin, you dey look your own pikin, you want the best for your child. Another man, children that is in your care, you can't care for them properly. And you think you now think when your children now become adult, you think all will be well with them. Níbo ló ti fẹ́ well pẹ̀lú wọn? Even if those children do not even say anything, just the silence of those children is enough to deal with your kids. Deal with your kids from generation to generation. The silence of those children that you are maltreating is enough to deal with you. But people don't understand. Why do you think it is okay to have a child in your care, and even those when they get domestic staff? Why do you think it's acceptable to maltreat anybody in your care? Who are you? You will be saying you did there today. You don't know where you don't know you did there this morning. You don't know where to go up for afternoon. Not even in the evening. You can't care for a child properly. And the question is, must you even have children in your care if you know you can't care for them? Not by force. Those kids now, they are damaged kids. Mentally, psychologically, emotionally. Even biologically, she's not damaged. Look, you need to see the picture, the child, the video of a child, the one that is 6-year-old. That child actually looks like a 2. That child will walk past you. You will think that child is actually a 2 or 3-year-old child. That's how much that child has emaciated out of trauma. Someone like myself now, thank God, this I be bolugi. You know when they call bolugi? I be bolugi. I don't go like give you. All the while I live in my auntie's house, I think I was only sick twice. Now only two times now I'm sick. The first time where I sick, I get malaria. They carry me go. You know say all these petroleum company. I be say they call their companies. They carry me go. They carry me go clinic. Now so they give me injection. Now I can't lie down. You know small pikin now. I think I was young. I probably under 10 at the time. Now so they carry me. And so they carry me go this thing. The following day I still lie down. You know say fever and I still in my body. When they give me Igbaji Oloyi, kia ba lara mi ya wani straight. When they hear Igbaji Oloyi, kia na quick well. No be the injection I make me well. Na the Igbaji Oloyi, kia ba lara mi ya. Until I come out for the woman house, even she said she dey talk with because she no get sense. She dey talk and she go dey say, she doesn't fall sick. You know say bolugi loro mi. You know what they call bolugi? I be correct bolugi. Hey, I be when you hear correct bolugi. I don't look myself say hey bene will benefit life for me be. I dare not sick say wetin happen to you. Say you be who? But for me, Igbati Oloyi, even the injection no work reach. The Igbati now work faster than the injection. Maka why? Issue. So I don't look. It be like my body self don't look and say, hey, this place where you dey, and me self we get one time. I remember one time that I dream see my papa. Now I can't go tell. I can't remember what even led me to say it or something. You know, and you know say because the woman swallow ogbeshumi, she can't say make her they go for deliverance. When it be say na she self, na she gang, na you know wetin dey for wetin they pursue am. You say make her they go. I can't look. I just look her. But me, I no even mind. She the deliverance. Wetin concern me? I will go the pastor. I been waiting they call her. In short, that was it. When I leave me first. Now so I carry myself. And me, I no even mind to go for the deliverance because I know say na escape from the house. Anything that will make me leave the house, I was always happy. Now so I go, the pastor will just dey, that one will just do, that one go dey talk, go dey go for what me lori. Me, I will just say, I will just kuku dey come dey laugh. Because the pastor no see anything. God will no show the pastor say the woman where they follow they stay. Ori egbale. He no show am say he and his husband. Ori awon mejeji gbale. na so e come dey, na so they do. I will just dey laugh. When I come house, when they say make I fast, make I tell you the truth. I know the fast pé kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀. Pé kí ló tí ma fi fast. I go farabalẹ̀, I go shop. When you hear you, I dey farabalẹ̀ dey shop. I no fast one day for that house. All those nonsense fasting, when they go say me on fast you, I no go like give you. I go when I just shop finish. Is it that maybe I go shop the children food? Well, as they cook the food, I go dey pinch and dey shop. I don't get garri, I go don stash garri. Shop fasting pé kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀. Oúnjẹ mélòó náà fún mi tí mo fẹ́ máa fast. I go don sit down. Any food where the children shop remain, abi where she shop remain, abi the husband shop remain, I go put am for one corner. Èmi láyé mi. Na so I go sit down, I go shop am. When I don shop am, I come go brush. I come dey look there. I just dey look say I say if you dey find person wey make me no like Jesus, na that woman na the person wey make me no like Jesus, I no go like give you. If you dey find person, because I just that time I remember as young as I was like, if truly this Jesus exists, why you no dey see this alakori? And the picture of Jesus dey their house, so he dey their house. Now so they go dey fast, they go dey pray. I will look and see. Me, I will just dey laugh. Wetin concern me? Then that time, na Deeper Life, the woman they go for. I get one program where they do for youth that time for Gbagada abi Ayobo. I can't even remember the nonsense. When we go, she go say she go don enroll me. Say make I go. Me will be say na happiness for me because I know say I go shop 3 square meal. I go shop and can't even go collect extra. If you ask me what did they teach for that place, I know you know even concern me. I'm not interested. But make you no be say because I know say either way we shall go chop beating. So I will just do selective remembrance of memory verse. Now I go do now selective at the lane. I will just do selective remembrance of memory verse. I will come carry her. When she come, they ask question for us. I jegba against me now go do. Oh yeah, take it. This now wetin they tell us. Ask me in detail wetin they talk and it no concern me. Those time where the few days I've been a week where we go use go the camp. Now say me I know they go shop. I will go there. All those brother and sister children, where they go? Those ones they come from their mother and papa house. They will go there. They do their own thing. Shall moto come and come corner. Me, I no even ready. I no even get body weight anybody they carry the put for corner because my own na to go shop. Una they laugh me. Na true. My own na to go shop. Na food. Once I go say, what they call am? Youth clinic. I can't even remember the name of the nonsense they call am for Deeper Life that time. My own na to go shop. I will come there wait because I know say Easter we go. Christmas time we go. Na to go shop. Me na shop I dey go shop. I no go like give you. All those nonsense, all those they go they sing. Wetin concern me? Me at the end they calculate. Na shop I won't go shop. 3 square meal tí ó jalè tí ni mo máa jẹ. 3 square meal tí ó jalè tí na go sit down go shop am well. I go shop where I go yoto mi dada. Because I know me where I know kuku get wahala for my head. Wetin concern me? The food dey sweet abi see when I don't even care whether it's sweet whether it's no sweet. The fact is say I dey shop 3 square meal. Now be the cocoa of my matter. And I go shop, I go collect extra. People wey me and they go camp that time. Ask them. Person wey no fit finish in food, me I go collect am. And that's why I be like wetin be the name? In short, if you see as a teen, but now me go help them they shop there. Youth retreat. Thank you, Jare Hope or Dusaya. How are you? Now say I go. Retreat they call am. Now say I go. Anybody when no fit finish in food, all those sister and brother children, when no fit make they bring and come, na me go sit down. Because I know say when I reach house, I'm back to square, I'm back to my reality. I go sit down, I go shop. I go sit down, I go shop where. When you dey hear person go shop, I dey shop where. I won't be bawu. Iran lórí òṣì. All those brother and sister children that time for church. You go see them. Oh man, come one more corner ni. all of them they go find boyfriend, girlfriend. You come see them. Pẹ̀lú in this scarf mori. Me, I don't dey put scarf for my head. I will go sit down na shop. I dey go shop. Emi gan mo pe ipo oúnjẹ mo lọ jẹ. Emi myself I know. If you say I go don dey prepare myself. Once she just say you to the tree today, in short, you know, say for church they go announce her. Every other thing they talk for church, I know they hear. But once they just mention, once it don't reach Easter period, I don't know, say food don't land. I know say food go land, and she go register me for retreat. For her now, she want to make the devil come up for him body, no be my body. Because me and devil, I don't know devil postcode. Devil knows I be my postcode. For her head, for her mind now, for her mind that time, she define picking where devil go come up for her mind. Meanwhile, for me, now food. Then Christmas retreat, we will go for a retreat. I think we used to go for a retreat as well. I go sit down, go shop. I go shop where, and I go sleep where. Well, I'm not even till date, I'm still not a good sleeper. Because you go sleep late. 1 o'clock, I go get Kerela Mansu. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, you go sleep. By 5 o'clock, they don't come give you backhand. I said, when I tell you, say person swallow, person beshu me. 5 o'clock, she don't come wake you. She will come wake me. Oh yeah, come and start preparing for daddy. You will come go dey sweep. And you go sleep 3 hours sleep. And your own children go dey sleep. And that's why I'm saying that, they know how to care for their own kids. Your own children go dey sleep. They go dey sleep. Mama falala. They go dey sleep. They go dey sleep. They your tummy. But when my mama come to tell you, say she even know what she dey do. When my mama dey around, she will come allow me. But of course, because it's not something I'm used to. Because I know the repercussion. So I'm awake. She will come, they tell me. When I come, she come, she will come, they vex. You want to show your mother that this is what you used to do. So that means she know. And that's the truth. She actually knew what she was doing. And when my mama dey around, now she go remember, say, because normally, after all the children don't go sleep, you go do 1-4-1-9 prayer. You know this year prayer. Let us go and pray at night. Now so we go pray. Me of which that time of prayer, that time I dey sleep, I don't go like give you. I go sit down. At that time, I will come lie down and go sleep. Because I know that's the only time I can catch sleep. And that's why power napping are normal for me. Waiting people, they try to learn. Me, are normal for me because that is the only way. It shows, sometimes when I look at those 13 years, I'm like, take survive for this with a woman hand. Now, power napping. The power napping, till today, I know sabi sleep normal. All those ones they go say, doctor say you need to sleep 6 hours, 5 hours, 8 hours sleep. I know sabi sleeper. My sleeping is in bit and bob. And I don't know how to sleep in silence. There must be noise at the background for me to sleep. Because now the normal life where I live be that. Now my normal now be that. Now so we go sleep. Once we don't do prayer finish, she'll come carry cob come. If you get dandruff, maybe you suppose carry head and shoulder. Maybe you go use head and shoulder to wash your head. I mean you go carry your head, go specialist scrap. What did they call it? What did they call our scab treatment? You go for scab treatment. I lie. Now you will come carry coach. He will give you comb. Come begin the scratch dandruff. If no be say person swallow issue. Come carry comb. Come give you. Go the scratch. And she go to sleep. If you sleep, the slap she go use to wake you. Meanwhile, she go to sleep. Because I be bad pikin. I dey talk am today. I know say she dey my page. You shouldn't dey my page. I no go like give you. They dey my page. They hear me. When I don't say she don't sleep, I go close my eye. Now so the thing go come. Now the comb, say of course you are sleeping. You can't cheat nature. You can't cheat nature. You can't see the thing will come scratch your head. Now so she go baraburuku ni. But me I no mind because I know say I don't sleep. Because once you don't go sleep, maybe around about 1 or 2, she will come say good night. You will come say good night, ma. You can't go sleep. Once it don't reach 5 o'clock, you wake you up 5 o'clock. You are 5:30. And if you wake up late, your own don't finish, daddy. Your own, you don't finish. Lomo to loss only 2 o'clock. You can't carry broom, when they sweep where no loss. You go water flower, they do waiting no loss. Yet our own children, she will not let our own children do that. Aja momoti and told you. Moti fun lomo abi they talk am for Yoruba. Anyway, now you see the woman where they talk. This orphanage woman. I'm just giving an example. I'm giving a practical example. The woman, you will see the video. When I will send the video to you, you come and see how our own child looks like. In short, when I hold on, let me send the video to you. Make you see as a own pikin be. Can't see the Olori Gbeske. The children where is they? Hold on. When I hold on, no, where is they now? Okay. When I show you get your phone. Okay, that's it. Come and see our own child, a 15-year-old. Look at how our child is well developed. And see the children where they in care. Even if you have domestic staff, your driver, the so-called domestic staff, like your driver, your cleaners, whatever they are, don't treat them. You don't know where your own children will get to tomorrow. A lot of parents that have acted inappropriately with other people's children, go and see their own children. Go and see what is happening with the life of their own children. You don't offend innocent kids. You don't offend anybody. Because if only you saw, like I always said, I was telling someone, I said, if my auntie saw today, maybe she would not, if my auntie saw today, she no go behave the way she behaved yesterday. The person go carry go carry padlock, lock freezer. Even to tell you how bad, she even they punish herself because she don't want make we go shop from that food, abi? She go come carry padlock, lock freezer. The food go come expire. To tell you how bad, you know say she go carry padlock, lock freezer. Fish finger. You know, it was when I started living on my own that I knew that fish finger were expensive. Na normal, na peanuts, that they buy them. Indomie, all those things. She go lock them. Egg, she will come they carry them one by one to fry for the children. Just because she don't want me other people shop. They will carry Mr. Big that time. They will go buy Mr. Big. Call their children inside room. They give their children. Alone Mr. Biggs, a logo on Mr. Biggs, you know. They will carry her, put her in tasty fried chicken. They go carry her and they go put her inside the room. They will call the children inside room. And those children too, they follow their parents. And they will not even ask questions. I don't think those kids ask questions. They go carry all of them. They go inside room. And you think it's acceptable? How do you act like that towards a child? And what always, one thing I always ask is, these people they behave like this. They really very religious. You can't they wonder. So the Bible where they read, I mean the Quran where did they read? I don't know where people they read Quran. The Bible or the Quran where did they read? So does it not tell them that their behavior is bad? And the truth is, they know that what they are doing is wrong. They know what they are doing is wrong. They know how they are acting is wrong. Because they don't, if you want to know, look at the way they relate to their own children. They don't act to their kids like that. But they feel it's acceptable to act to a child that is in their care. They feel it's okay to act differently to that child or to the children. When person carry children, you get bag of rice for inside house. You they give other people children. Kinonporukwe, akamu. You will carry, you need to see the akamu that they were giving this cocoa. You need to see it's not even nourishing. The akamu is not nourishing. Okay, what is it? Èló ló ń jẹ, èló ni gbogbo oúnjẹ gan tó kó sójú títì. Èló ni. Why would you think that the food you are eating, you cannot give it? You cannot, the children in your care or the workers in your care, they can't eat exact same thing that you are eating. Why? What makes you, what even possess anyone to think it is acceptable to treat anyone differently from how you treat your own children or yourself? What is it? Me as a person, I cannot fathom that you will treat anybody in your care. I cannot treat anybody in my care differently from how I would treat myself. I used to have one of my seniors, her daughter lived with me. You know, she came here to come and study. And I remember the young lady, you know, when she came, you know, for me, she was more like my daughter. And I saw that the things she was doing, there's no way she's going to be able to achieve, you know, the goals that her parents have set for her. So, as like a normal, like what I would do with my own child, you know, I called her and I was like, you can't act like this. But of course, she got influenced. Who is she? Who is that person to be? You know, when people come and live with you, people outside were telling her, that lady is too strict. Because that's how we act towards my own child. Even my own child, when my child was living with me, I was heavy-handed. It's not in a bad way. But that was, you know, because, you know, I want the best. Anyway, this lady over time, you know, the lady, I remember speaking to her mom. And I remember her doing, she did, you know, she came for college. And when she did the exams, she failed. You know, so I said, you know, when I got to know, in short, she was very, she was, you know, when she told her parents. So I remember sitting her down, I was like, how can you come abroad? You can't do exam for UK. UK will be say, if you can study in Nigeria, to fail abroad is very, very difficult. Because Nigerian way of study is a rugged study. So UK will be say you even understand. They will give you, like, they literally give you the questions. The way they lecture you, you almost know, you literally know what to expect in exams. Unlike Nigeria, where they will just do like random questions. You know, I talked, you know, I was so irritated with her. Like the way I would act towards my own child, you know. And I sat at, you know, even her parents, her mom was on the phone and I was like, how can you? And these are the reasons. You're a very clever girl. These are the reasons why you failed your exams. You came here and you lost focus. You know, so I highlighted, of course, she's not used to like, you know, someone speaking to her that way because, you know, she was being mollycoddled and everything. Eventually, she left my house. You know, she got influenced, she left my house. Guess what? It was after she left. You see the people that told her, come to me. That lady, she's too difficult. She doesn't allow you breathe. Because I was very straight. I was like, look, you're here to come and study. Focus, face what you came here to come and do. You are here, you are showing off. My parents are this. Nobody is interested. You have a primary focus. Focus on your studies. When you focus on your studies, you know, you are here. Go get a job as well. Make sure you are working because it makes you understand responsibility. I didn't even know that at some point her father will pie in between. You know, for me, I was preparing her. But I wasn't like the conventional, because I don't know how to pretend. Anyway, the long and short of it, when she now left mine, over time, you know, she got into uni and, you know, she then reached out to me one day. I'm talking maybe like about a year, 2 down the line. You know, she was avoiding me. So later one day in short, it was her mom who even called me. Her mom was my senior in high school. The mom called me. And the mother just started praying for me. I was like, what's happen? You know, because since she left, the mom didn't bother calling me. So the mom now called me. She was not like, this, that. And I said, senior. You know, if you go to my secondary school, you know why we call ourselves senior. I was like, I said, senior. Me, I was just acting the way I would act. To me, she's my child. And what I will do with my own biological child, is what I did with your child. And she said, yes, that, we just thought you were being difficult. You were telling her she couldn't just go out anyhow. She had curfews. I said, yes. Because if anything goes wrong with her, I'm going to be in trouble. She can't just go out of my house and come back. She can't just go out and come back when she likes. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't. I'm sorry. You can't be under my roof and just be doing what you like. I'm not restricting her from going out, but you can't just go out without me knowing where you are. If anything happens, you are in my address. This is a Western country. You are in my address. So anyway, then the girl, she reached out to me and I said, look, you're always welcome. You forever. I don't hold any grudge against you. You are forever. I'll forever hold you as my own daughter. The way I would act. And she said, look, auntie, let me be honest with you. Yes, I left. It was influence. He said, but do you know what I realized? When I went to go and live with someone else, I realized that you are the only one that I lived with that was actually being honest with me. You actually wanted the best for me, but me being a young girl, I was like, I need my freedom. This is my first, and that really, the time she came to come and live with me was the first time she left her home. So that she was thinking, this one that I'm restricting her. I'm not allowing her to go out. I said, I didn't say you shouldn't go out. She said that it wasn't even a case of not going out. That for her, she couldn't understand why I was upset with her that she failed her exams. And I said, look, why would you? Your parents are sacrificing so much, paying for your fees from Nigeria, sending you, what do they call it? They're sending you pocket money from Nigeria. Instead of your parents sending you pocket money, why don't you you're allowed to work 20 hours. Why don't you work? It's not like you're doing anything with your money. You're not paying rent in my house. You're not doing anything. So why can't you work? After all, it's your own money. Even if your parents are sending that money to you, you can save it. Like I said, I didn't even know her father was going to pass away in between her studies. So she struggled to continue her studies. By the time she was waking up to the reality of what I'd advised her to do, finances was really tight. And she couldn't complete her studies, in the Scottish system. So she had to go back to Nigeria. Till date, in short, she still called me some few weeks ago. She was telling me, she said, auntie, if there was anything I always regret, is the fact that I never listened to you when I had that opportunity. Now she doesn't have the same opportunity. She's now married, she has children. It's not as simple as I'm just carrying my bag, I'm coming abroad. She's got to think of her family. She's got to think of, there's a lot to think about. It's not just her on her own. Like when she came when she was just 17. Life happens. And if you don't make the right choices when you have that time, it can be quite difficult to correct to correct it. Just learn to treat people okay. If there's any lesson you take out from today, learn to treat it doesn't matter who that person is in your care. It doesn't cost you anything to be nice to that person. It doesn't cost you. All this one that you even look at, you have domestic staff, you be saying my house girl. Look at how I dress my house girl. Who are you to be calling somebody house girl? The person you are calling house girl, does that person not have a name? Your driver, does that driver not have a name? Why must you make it a point of duty to label that person? Your domestic staff, they have names. They are human. Does it cost you anything to call them their names? It doesn't cost you anything to call them their names. It doesn't cost you anything to treat them like human beings, like they are. To treat them as human beings that they are. Will it take anything from your body if you are nice to someone? As parents, as whoever we are human. And that's what I mean. I resent inequality with passion because I've seen it in firsthand. It doesn't cost you anything. Anybody that walk past you, let them remember you. Let them remember that they pass through. They pass through you with dignity and respect. It's not cool to make anybody feel less. And you never can tell. Today you are the one. Today you are the one that they've come to for help. Who knows? If tomorrow you need them. My auntie that I'm talking about, today now, I don't need her for anything. And that's the truth. I don't need her for anything. Because there's no reason to need her. The assumption was I was going to need her. But she didn't realize. If, like I always say, if she knew today, she would act, she won't even act differently, because even now, the thing where they inside her belly no leave her. She's still not reflecting. She's not even apologetic towards her behavior, because she thinks this is normal. And me, what's it concern me? I just look at what's it concern me. I know who send them. So me, I just Now look at now my sibling now then they follow and me, I know it no concern me. I don't even give her audience. No be person when you give audience, now you go no say he exist. And even times that I'm at the corner, that I'm caught in the corner to speak to her, I speak to her in a very superficial way. Because to me, she's nothing to me. She doesn't exist to me. Neither herself or the husband or the children. They don't exist to me. In short, if I have to speak to her, it's very, very superficial. And she herself, she knows. She's very, very uncomfortable speaking to me. Because she knows. You get one that she sent me prayer. I read it, I got begin to laugh. I say, see this Olori Biscuit. They send me prayer. Fear yourself, no cash you. Send me prayer. Fear yourself, no cash you. Anyway, Public Complaint Commission, thank you so much for rescuing those children. And I hope you guys follow through. I hope you guys follow through with caring for those kids and hopefully finding them a loving and a nurturing home. I hope so. On this one, I know say Nigeria, we always Nigeria this, Nigeria that, but on this particular one, Nigeria try. I mean, Nigeria, on this particular one, no, Nigeria try. At least they made it, they are able to come to the rescue of those kids. Well, now you can say that again. At least they came to the rescue of these children. So hopefully, we need to see more of this. Public Complaint Commission, you have done this one, but please, let's see more of that. The vulnerable in our society, they need to be protected. Kudos to you guys for rescuing these kids. And hopefully, we'll begin to see more of that. No child, nobody should be in a vulnerable position. Nobody. It doesn't matter, and you don't even need to be in a place of decision making for you to be able to rescue and for you to be able to help a vulnerable person. Please, let's learn to reflect on tomorrow. You never can tell. That child that you are maltreating today, that so-called house girl because that's what you people will say. Person gets name, I don't know why you choose to tag the person house girl. You go say, na my cook, na my butler, na my chauffeur. How does it make you feel when you label someone? How does that make you feel? The only time, I always tell people, never look down on anyone. The only time you should be looking down at anyone, looking down at anything, is when you are tying the lace of your shoes. And once you make that your principle, and that's my principle. I love to identify people by their names. I don't like the whole tagging people. I dislike that thing of labeling someone. Because why? Who am I to label you? That I'm in a position today does not mean that I'm better than you. It's just like the people I work with at my workplace. I always tell them, I'm not better than you. I might be well read, but it doesn't make me a superior person. We are all equal. And that's what matters. We're human first before any other thing. And please, please, everyone on my platform or anyone listening to the sound of my voice, that's something you should learn to do. Please, let's learn to make everyone feel equal. It doesn't cost you anything. Love and nurturing goes a long way in the life. Look at me now. I'm talking about my auntie. I'm talking about my auntie. Look at how I'm because that's a relationship. I have an older friend. I used to have an older friend. You know, one of the things that made me like that lady, even till date, we don't always talk. But one of the things that make me like her, I like the way she has her niece lives with her. Her niece lived with her, rather. You cannot see that child and think it's her niece. You actually think it's her daughter. That's one thing that lady won my heart with. And you know, till tomorrow, I still refer to that lady because I just love the way, like you cannot see her and think that lady, that child was her niece. She treated gave the girl the same opportunity. You cannot see her and think, eléyìí kì í ṣọmọ ẹ̀. Be compassionate towards people. It doesn't cost you anything. Is it your domestic staff? What does it cost you to be compassionate? Some people, they have domestic staff. They will send at my house girl. Their children will go to school. They will go, they put their kids in good school. They will go and put the house girl in one Jelosimi secondary Jelosimi school. Some, when their kids are going to school, some will not even do anything. They will say, I'm paying. So therefore, that child will be there. Does it cost you anything? Okay, let's even say you cannot afford to send the person to education. At least you will ask, okay, can you train? Can you get the skills? I'll pay for your skills, irrespective of the salary you are paying the person. Does it cost you anything? But some of us, we just like, that is my driver. That is my houseboy. That's my sister's daughter. That's my sister's son. You know that my sister that used to come and beg for food. That is her house. Those are her children. That my sister is a widow. That my brother that cannot care for his children. Àwọn kan alásọjáàmù ni wọ́n. Everything is all lying on their hands. But that's for today. Do you know what will happen? That is in the morning. Do you know what can happen in the evening or in the afternoon? Do you have control over it? Anyway, thanks everybody for listening. Sorry, it's quite, I look at this, like I said, when I started my show, I look at it from a very personal way, But hopefully, like I said, kudos to Public Complaint Commission. And like I said, hopefully we have more of this. Hopefully we have more of this. And for everyone on my platform that listen to just reflect. Reflect on your relationship with your domestic staff, with people in your care. Reflect on your relationship. It will go a long way. Enilario, arola. In short, arolari, aroson. If only we can see the afternoon from the morning, we probably would do things differently. Thanks everybody, and have a wonderful night.